Hey, good afternoon. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Bet you didn't expect to see me. Anyway, I'm doing a live afternoon program show because the morning was kind of crazy. And to be honest with you, I had a coaching session before and it kind of went a little long, but I really wanted to have that discussion and talk about it. And one of the things benefit, I did get permission to talk about what we talked about today at my coaching session earlier. So I want to share a little bit about closing out contracts and really it's about managing your risk for yourself. And if you haven't bought the 10x rule by Grant Cardone, I know it's not an agile book, but it talks a lot about the closing out of responsibility for taking care of yourself, right? And what we talk about on the show, I want to give you stuff that relevant and help you all out. And it's not necessarily just about Scrum and Agile, but how do we as professionals in this realm work, and things that I learned I will share with you. And today I want to share with you closing on a contract, which people, be honest with you, most project managers are really bad at it, just totally bad. And if you assume they know what they're doing, you're probably wrong. I've done it many times. I kind of know. I've been there, done that. But I want to give some good adverse risk monitoring, or watching or mitigation techniques for yourselves as professionals in the agile or business or at IT or any kind of environment. Actually, anything project management, same rules apply. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit today. And then I got to go take Jerry out because he's dying. And the kids are here, so if it gets really crazy and nuts, it's because it's not 7 o'clock in the morning after they get on the bus. They're back from school. They had a half day. So it is what it is. And this 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, not at 5 a.m. today, but in the afternoon a little bit. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. I'm going to talk about practical for yourselves to bring value to the customer, which a part I think is part of the value, and servicing your clients, and not working crazy hours to do that. Make sure you get paid for what you do and have a little fun along the way. So let's dig right into it. So this morning I was talking. I have one of my coaches. The contract they were on, or the person was on, ended pretty quickly, and I'll admit the company he worked for did a really bad job of managing the close out of the contract. Pretty bad, really. And they're being a little painful about it, but they did a bad job managing it. And then what can you do? And then in the end, I was telling them, well, who is really responsible for this? I mean, the client, the company you work with still owes you money, right? No ifs, ands, or buts because of the way they did it. But in the end, it's up to us as individuals to take care of ourselves. And that's one of the things in the Grant Cardone book, 10X Rule. He talks about that a lot, about you are responsible for what it is. It ain't somebody else. Yes, they can be partial. You can point fingers at them. In the end, it's all about what you do. And I want to share a couple things of how I handle contracts I've been doing for 30 years. Okay. Been through it, have contract ends, worked for the government, money expires, contract statement of works don't get renewed. Been there, and I've been there myself. I'll give you a couple examples. I had lots of contracts where I knew where the statement of works were ending. I usually, as a program manager, project manager, got my money ahead so that everyone knew months ahead of time whether or not there was a continuation of the contract. I rarely, if ever, had to wait to the last minute. And if I had to, really was that, I walked things through so it got done. That's just me. Since then, I've been on multiple contracts where funding has expired or that didn't get renewed because of some issues. I can give you a few of them, and I've been through layoffs and rifts too, by the way. So I've been working at companies where all of a sudden, it's done, everything's done, and you have no control. You could have had a plan you wanted, but sometimes the financial and legality standards kick in, and there's nothing you can do, right? But when we talk about coaching, what I try to help my coachees in my Slack channel and my programs and my videos, which you see, I try to help you prepare yourself for those risks. How can you mitigate those risks? It's interesting. Always, I'll give you another example. I had a contract. had some dates for the contract. The new year, every year, this one company would renew contracts, and there's a limbo period that they had in the way that they handle contractors. We were told everything's good, you're going to get funded, everything. Bam. A week after we were told everything was good, we made plans. My team made plans to meet up. We were all going to go to Disneyland before COVID. This was pre-COVID. And because we all wanted to go to California and take the families and all and just meet up and have at least meet for a day and have fun. Well, we got told that it didn't get renewed and it was canceled. And they went, what? And they had to panic and replan. Some of us still went on our trip because we already had it. No matter what, we already paid for it, right? It wasn't a future payment thing. And one person did in their family, but they figured out what they needed to do, and we all had to find new jobs. So been there where we thought one thing, management came down and said, no, we don't have the funding for it anymore. We're done. It's over. Click. Done. Right? I've also been there where I had one manager who was conflict adverse, could not handle conflict. And this is when the project managers really fail. A lot of project managers can't handle conflict. And I would say professional conflict, not like violent conflict, but professional, where the person couldn't tell me that the money wasn't approved and get me know 2 days before the end of the year that my contract was not going to get renewed. So they gave me 2 days notice. And you're like, what are we going to do? What do you want me to do in 2 days? My next 2 days is take everything that had my name in and put it in someone else's name because I wasn't expecting, because my contract in theory had another month on it. So had another month. I should have known. This is where you point on yourself. I should have known, based on all the years of my contracts, that come the end of the year and you just have a month left, they could do anything. Anything can happen, right? I should have known, should have anticipated that. That was me. And that's what's in the 10X book. Where someone might say, we don't have the contract renewed yet. You know, your flag should go off. Your risks say, okay, I know the year's coming up. Do we have a renewal yet? And, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, about a month or 2 months, depending how much you want to get paid, if you don't have a solid date and signature and line on a date, renewal, whatever, start finding a new job, you know? And I'm not saying you quit and you stop what you're doing, but put yourself open. Go on LinkedIn, put open to work, put in, you know, hey, whatever, go see if people will give you a job. Who knows? Like, this is the thing. You may get renewed, but you really don't know your worth until you put your name out there and everything, right? You don't know. So definitely do that. And if you get a job offer, you can take that to your client. You're doing, hey, I got a job offer to this. Should I stay or go? What do you want to do? Maybe you got offered more money. Maybe you didn't, right? But you don't have that. So that's risk that you could do to minimize. If they renew it and you know what, you can tell the company that offered you a job, say, look, they renewed my contract. I got another 6 months. I got another year. I would like to do that. Enjoy what I do. And you can make that discussion happen, which is fine. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to have that question. And to wait till the last minute is not good. And for yourself also, protection. I guess I can give you numbers on counting these things I would do. 1, I would find out when the contract ends and have a date, right? 2, be careful if it's the end of the year and there's a little bit of overlap, because they can react to it and come to the end of the year. They usually cut things off that they may not know. And then 3, when you get close to the end of the contract, take a month or 2 early and start looking for jobs, right? Put it out there. Doesn't mean you have to accept the jobs. Just because you say you're open, doesn't mean you have to take it, right? So those are the kind of things you might want to take and make sure you put some money aside. This is a long-term one. Always put money aside, even if you have a full-time job. Always put so much money aside, 10%, whatever you can. I know the rule of thumb is like 10%. Always put money aside, have that cash available to help protect yourself. It's all about risk mitigation. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a project manager and you don't heed what I'm saying, are you really a good project manager? The whole purpose of a project manager is to minimize risks. And if you may work all your stuff into your professional, but you have to minimize risk to yourself and to your family, your friends, whoever's are close to you too. So you need to do a little bit of risk management for yourself. Every time I go for a job, I always do my own risk management. I always figure out what my rate would be. That's another thing as a delivery manager when you have to figure out costs. You have to figure out your costs and time off and all that, calculate all that. That all goes into your job application process. And I just wanted to share that with you all. I want to make sure you understand that. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. We have our Slack channel if you want to get involved and ask questions about jobs. I got a lot of people that came off of Capital One that joined up our Slack channel just because I offered it to them for a year for free. Just if they need someone to chat. And I think the people know that I connected to and connect with. I've been pestering them. I say, how's it going? Make sure things are going good. I'm checking in on them. I just don't throw that stuff out there and not follow up. I might not follow up like the next day, but I do follow up every couple of weeks to see how they're doing and how their journey is going and see if they need anything, if I can help. I don't know how much I can help, but maybe I could try. But be careful. So in the closeout, a lot of places don't, and you got to take what's written in the paper and the contract as fact, right? If it's not written down, it's business. It comes down to business, not promises, not feelings, not trust, not any of that stuff. It's about business. Now, I would love a 2-week notice professional courtesy from both sides. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I've been burnt a few times on that, right? It happens. It's not like a rarity. No, it happens. It's not a rare thing. And I want everyone to understand that whether you were in business, and I worked for the Navy Department for years. We had riffs, whole organizations gone, right? It ain't something new. I talked about that train thing from 1949, right? When they stopped doing the coal mining, gone, right? So what can you do? Minimize your risk. Join groups. Be active. Be connected to people. Keep your connections alive because you never know when you're going to do it. Had a lot of connections. Help me out in my transition, right? Today I had a contract I started as a supporting contract. It was a great meeting. I was kind of busy this morning. That's why I didn't do it. I wanted to make sure I was ready for it, but it went well, right? But that's because I maintain my contacts and connections. You can't rest. You always want to minimize your risk to yourself and to your family. And I just recommend that. I just wanted to share that with you. I did get permission to talk about it because I didn't want to do it without, as we said, is okay. He said, yeah, he's like, yeah, you should tell Greg. Greg, you should tell people. So I'm telling you, get this book, read about it, see who's really responsible for it, who's responsible for the risk and managing that risk. It's you and me. It's you. It's me, right? You can blame everyone else because they did a crappy job closing out a contract. But in the end, you have to minimize that risk for you. You have to be aware of those situations, aware of your end dates, when funding is going to be in. It's important and crucial to yourself when that stuff happens. If you see your company missing money, I had one company I worked for. They lost hundreds of millions of dollars. And like, everything's okay. I'm like looking at them like, what do you mean everything's okay? I've never been in a company that lost hundreds of millions of dollars. You can tell me everything's okay. I said, it's not. And I got out of that company. And within 6 months of me leaving, they laid everyone off. They got acquired or whatever. They just done, right? So it does have ramifications. There's nothing you could do about it. And it's up to you to minimize the risk yourself. Again, so let's think about this real quick. One, always know when your end dates are, right? And if you're getting close on an end date, get a new one in writing, okay? So there's your end dates. What am I going to say? So we got the end dates, and I probably have to go back and look at the videos. End dates. Make sure that you have your dates or whatever that you are when you get closer to those dates, especially end of year. Make sure you have an end date. If it's the end of the year, it's a high risk. Like if you have an extra month or two at the end, very high risk, they could terminate the contract. Just so you know, you may not get renewed. So there's a lot of risk at the end of the year. So know your dates. End of year, very high risk, or whenever their cycle is for that organization. Because I know a lot of government stuff, it's like June or something, and it's not December. 2, when you're getting close to a date, if you don't have a date, put your resume on the street. Be open. You don't have to be actively, but open up the door. Go on LinkedIn, put open for work. Go ahead. It's classic. It's fine. If you get a job offer, bring it to your client. Say, I got a job offer for this. Are we going to renew? Right? Are we going to renew for another year? What's the rate? Maybe that new job offer is a pay increase. Don't close that door. And I know we're getting a 15-minute mark, so I'm going to close it off. So, and the other thing is, you own the risk, right? So you own it. And then the last thing I'll say, join up with groups, take some classes as you go. You may feel the most comfortable you are in that company. I highly recommend get new certs, learn new skills, keep yourself on top of things. So in case anything happen, you don't have to spend a month where you're not getting paid, spending money to take a class because you need to get your skills up. Okay. And I'm coaching you right now. This is frank, legit conversation, whether you watch the show or not, or listen to the show. It's truth. I'm telling you truth. I'm not being rosy colored. And connect with me. If you have a problem, we got the Slack channel. If you just want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I can't promise that I'll get you a link right away because I got over 13,000 connections. But I do connect. People will probably admit, yeah, Greg actually does reach out to me. I haven't talked to him in like a year, but he'll reach out and see how things are going. I'll see you got a new job. I'll check in on you, and just see what's going on new in the world. So feel free. I wish you the best. I hope you don't get in that problem. If you do get in that problem and you have any questions, feel free to message me. So you can do it. Connected 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. That's my email for the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or any of the social medias saying, hey, Greg, yeah, I'm in that spot. Can we chat? I'm happy to help. I've been there many times, been doing this for 33 years now. Since got out of college or whatever. Before that, I got laid off when I was in high school and in college. So I've been there too. So I'm going to wish you the best. And now I want to say happy scrumming. It was a tough talk, but you know what? Sometimes we need that. Remember, and I would get this book. If you're still employed and you have a job, get the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone and read it. It may be talking about making money and being an entrepreneur, but it also talks about how you are responsible for minimizing risk to yourself. You can't blame others for when they screw up and mess up your lives. It's like, yeah, I should have saw that coming. And you reflect on that retrospective, right? So with that, I say take care, enjoy, wish you the best. If you need anything, send me a note. I'm really serious about that. All right. Take care, everyone, and see you. Oh, tonight I'm going to do the Rob Jobs thing because I didn't do it yesterday. Do the jobs report tonight. Again, last night was kind of crazy. Lots of things going on. Lots of things in my own head, trying to get my own OKRs done. Trying to get that and work on that. And I got a session coming up with my other coach. I have a coach that's all about marketing. So I'm learning about marketing for myself. Lots of stuff, but it's all good. It's all growth. Anyway, wish you the best. Take care. Bye. See you tonight and then see you again tomorrow. Bye. See ya.